I already tanked my coffee.
You did?
One step ahead of you.
Oh, you're always a step ahead. All right, dude, let's do the countdown and play the advertisement so we can make that sweet, sweet money. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This podcast is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster using Restream.io? What's up, everybody? AWOL here, Digital Drop Podcast live on every freaking platform. Today we're talking about YouTube titles. Get people's attention. Get the click. How do you break through? With millions and millions of competitors on YouTube, social media, live streaming platforms, well, the number one thing you can do to instantly increase the amount of clicks and views that you get is just to make a better title. So today, we're going to inspire you by telling you a research method to learn from the best headlines and titles and billboards of all time. You've probably never heard this method before because we literally made it up ourselves. And then we're going to show you actual results from Ashevilles tests on Facebook where it shows him how much more distribution he gets when he actually uses clickbaity titles, when he uses great headlines. We'll show you that to you as well. And you're going to walk away from this live stream, from this podcast, inspired to make better titles, to get more clicks, and to grow faster. You got it? Good. I'm going to cut over to Ashevilles' screen right now, and he's going to show us those magical results. Hold on. I see a beautiful green number up there, 8.9x. How did you get 8.9x more distribution on this live stream versus all of your other Star Citizen ones that are completely identical? Share your secrets.
So yeah, I did tests where a lot of back-to-back streams I was doing the exact same thing, and I did this purposefully. You shouldn't actually do that when you're streaming. You should make each stream fun and unique, but I made them the same because I wanted to test and see what kind of impact the titles had. And this one I did Citizens Literally Want One Ship, and it is beautiful. And I did a sparkle emoji, a ship emoji, sparkle emoji. And this one just got massively more distribution, and then, at least from what Facebook is telling me, than on average, 8.9 times more distribution just because of the title alone. I had tons more people coming into the stream. It was much more easy to engage with them. They were chatting more too because they were clicking because of the title. And this is just one example, right? I went through and did a bunch of different examples, some good, some bad. I did one here. The ship has the body you've always wanted with the same emoji thing. This one did a little bit better.
Very good. There's a very kind of inspired by, click, like almost BuzzFeed headlines. It
was originally inspired by a Twitter meme, and then I kind of based it off that. That became like the beginning of I just found the Twitter meme, and that one just kind of clicked for me. But I also did a bunch of research where you can see I started to do it. There's 99% people agree on this one new ship, right? I tried it down here. 99% people agree this is the best space game ever. No, that's too complicated. It's the title is 99% people agree on this one new X, right? And then I just make that thing relevant to the game that I'm playing, and you can see plus 7.2 times distribution on this side. So the key that I found was find something, a headline that works. Research the platform that you're on and see what other headlines are working. Now, I did Twitch research. It was really hard to find titles that worked well on Twitch because people use all sorts of stuff. But Facebook was much easier. I actually got this 99% idea from another Facebook stream. I saw somebody use this on a GTA stream. I borrowed the idea, customized it to my own, and look what happened.
7 times better distribution for $0 on Facebook is just proving, and you didn't do anything different. It's just proving how effective changing the title can truly be and how that can help you grow faster if you actually put time into it. So you just said something a moment ago where you see these titles on Facebook and then you were inspired by it and then you used it yourself. So I personally have a big spreadsheet I use, or a big Google Doc I use, where I just write down potential titles for the Digital Drop podcast as well as my own live stream, just to remember those killer titles you see on the internet so you can reference them later and make them your own. Have you been using a similar kind of strategy so you don't forget those catchy titles when you come across them?
Yeah, so if I see a good title and while I'm out browsing on the internet, or I see a headline or something that has an idea that I think that I like that I might be able to convert to a title, I just put it in a Google Doc. And then I take the titles that I use in my stream that have worked, and I also document those as well. Because otherwise, you kind of forget, right? And I gain a lot of my ideas just from consuming other content, and from consuming other social media and seeing what people say. And there's a lot of different like common kind of meme phrases sometimes that work, and it's just all about making those relatable to your content. I found the one important thing was it can't just be a generic clickbait title. Maybe it can be on Facebook, but on Twitch that doesn't work. You have to be somewhat accurate as to what's going to actually be going on in your stream. And if you're not, it won't work. So you have to make it about like in Star Citizen, I made it about like everybody wants this one ship, right? Well, in that stream, I was buying a really cool looking ship. So it made sense and people could click, and then I delivered on the value behind it. If you don't make it relatable to what you're actually doing, it can actually hurt you on a lot of different platforms. Facebook, though, it might not actually hurt you. It's the one platform where like total 100% clickbait kind of actually works.
Got it. So extreme from for your titles. And we have the top 100 best headlines of all time right here. Let me pull them up on the screen. Just read these out. And let's talk about how we can use these headlines in order to get inspiration for ourselves for our own live streams. Hit us with it.
So, number one, the secret to making people like you. There's actually a book about this too. That's a pretty like old school must read for everyone in business. But these are like all of the good kind of classic headlines that have worked. And if you look at them, there's kind of like an element that exists in all of it, right? The secret to making people like you. A little mistake that cost a farmer $3,000 a year. Advice to wives whose husbands don't save money. The child who won the hearts of all. There's this question mark factor that you don't know, like a little mistake. What is that? What is the secret? Like you're asking yourself, what is this thing that they're talking about? They pique your curiosity so that you want to know more. How a new discovery made a plain girl beautiful, right? And
well,
also,
there's a lot more underneath these headlines that make them clickable. So if you go up to the like how a new discovery made a plain girl beautiful, that's a classic beauty headline. And also the secret to making people like you. Both of these headlines are really important, and both of these titles are really important because in all of these headlines, really, they relate back to the viewer in some way, in something that they want. So it's not just about like saying something crazy where they're wondering what the heck is going on. It's about telling them something that they actually want to know and want to hear. So the secret to making people like you, well, you click that because personally you want people to like you, right? And so it's tying into this classic marketing concept of customer transformation, of viewer transformation, of how your headline or how your content, how your live stream, how your video is going to transform their life in some significant way. And they've got to click in order to find out what's going to cause that transformation for them. Same thing with a little mistake that the farmer that cost a farmer $3,000 per year. That is, once again, it is a transformation. It's something that's going to impact the end viewer and the end customer. You have to think about the psychology here. So the other one was about, here's a very positive thing that's going to help people like you. This one is a negative thing that's going to help you avoid taking losses. But in both cases, it's about you. It's about the viewer. So you need to make your titles for your live streams and for your viewers, or for your videos, all about the viewer and what the viewer wants, and give the viewer what ties into their psychology and what they actually want. Now, there are some exceptions out there that are just wildly clickable and sensational in terms of headlines, and it doesn't really necessarily do anything other than just entertain you. Like the child who won the hearts of all. You know, you could say, what are you trying to say there, Perrin?
I'm trying to put like the streamer who won I'm not gonna be able to spell it out here with this tool maybe, but I was gonna put the streamer or like you can fill that subject with, and like the spaceman or whatever, if you're going to be a space game. So I'm getting a comment here and chat from Vimo's World saying that Facebook will demonetize clickbait headlines. Yes, they will, here's the thing. You don't make it 100% clickbait. You have to tie it into your stream. You have to tie it into you. You got to make it relatable. If you don't make it relatable, it's not going to work. And that's kind of the general crux of what we're getting at here. Like, take this, the child who won the hearts of all. And how do you make this? How about uh, change child to be subjective and change hearts? Maybe it's, the battle royale player who won all of the battle royales or something like that. I mean, I'm giving terrible examples here, but
the Fortnite player who won all the games or something like that. Like,
yeah,
you can just take the format of a lot of these titles and then you can change them to be, your stream. How about the Fortnite player who won the hearts of all? That's not clickbait. That is literally, you are a Fortnite player who's trying to win the hearts of all through your live stream. That's not clickbait. You're not going to get demonetized. If your stream said something like, 10 makeup secrets to look more beautiful and have bigger boobs, and then they just click on you during a Fortnite stream, that obviously is clickbait because you're misleading the audience with a title that doesn't represent the content. So there's a big difference there, right?
So here's one, it's very easy. You just change a word. How a new discovery made a plain ship beautiful. And then the stream is just about me taking the new ship that I bought, which I was going all about how I thought how beautiful the ship was in the game. And I'm customizing it and in the game and changing its loadout to make it more effective, right? So it's not actually clickbait anymore. It actually points to the value of the stream. So you take effective headlines. I think we should stop calling them clickbait, honestly, if we're with this strategy, because it's not anymore if you're making it relatable.
Well, it's the bait part is the part that people don't like, where you're getting the click and you're baiting them into something that they didn't bargain for when they clicked. So that's not the case here. You're getting them to click and then they'll get exactly what they clicked for. So that's what we're talking about. So this is not clickbait. These are just clickable titles. And this is the same thing. I'm going to go in my soapbox for a minute. I'm going full screen here. You are not the only person to ever try to get somebody's attention. Viewers, creators, streamers. Did you know that there have been hundreds of years of human beings that have tried to get people's attention through magazine articles, through printed newspaper, through the radio, through TV, through the early days of the internet, through holding signs in the streets, to yelling, extra, extra, read all about it, the president, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's been saying headlines for hundreds of years trying to get the attention of other human beings. And so the key to all of this is to learn from the generations of people that came before us that can teach us the secrets to being able to get people's attention. And we can use that today in 2020 to our own advantage. So you don't need to come up with your own strategy from scratch. That's why we're looking at, and I'm going to pull the screen up right now. That's why we're looking at the top 100 greatest headlines of all time right now. Some of these may seem old school. Some of them may seem out of context. But the point is, these are oldie but goldies here. You can take these and you can remake them in 2020 and really stand out versus your competitors because you guys are actually taking the time to think about your titles and your strategy, whereas your competitors are just thinking they're like, they know they want a live stream. They're sitting down. They're like, I don't know, blah, 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 blah title. If you actually do research and you come up with yours ahead of time, you can get those 7x, 8x more distribution on your streams than your competitors, and you can really punch through. That's why we're talking about this today. Perrin, you got an example here.
Yeah. What? So I just took, do you make these mistakes in English and just change do you to watch me make mistakes in Fortnite? Make these mistakes in Fortnite. So you can make it into a blooper stream where you're basically memeing in Fortnite and goofing off and doing terribly, and you can make it entertaining, right? So the titles are we know mathematically the titles are more important. Like on YouTube, we know the title and the thumbnail for the algorithm mathematically do far more than anything else you can do. We know mathematically on Facebook that the title is going to do far more than anything else you could do. I don't know on Twitch. It's tough to tell mathematically on Twitch what helps and what doesn't, but it's very clear that it does make a difference with your title. It's almost as if the part you should be planning the most for your content is the title, because then you can create a video based on your title, and that way it matches up. So people who are clicking, you get delivered on the value, right? The problem why people began to hate clickbait was because you would clickbait people and then you would deliver content that was totally different from what the title actually was. And that's bad. In fact, Facebook began in their newsfeed to deprioritize content that was doing that specifically because people were complaining about it. That's not what we're talking about. And you can't do that. You always have to deliver on the value that you promise because you want to create that perception in your viewer or the person consuming your content that, hey, I clicked on something and I got value. This person delivered on what I expect, or they even maybe over delivered. They even had a title and they maybe even over delivered on it. If you deliver or over deliver, you create a positive connotation or a positive experience for the person consuming your brand. And if you keep doing that, people will begin to understand. I don't think they'll think of this specifically, but they'll just kind of inherently understand that if they consume your content, they're going to get what they expect. And that's what most people want. You don't want them clicking and being like, oh, okay, they baited me and this is not what I thought it was. Because they're not going to click again if they see that it's you doing the same strategy. People are smarter about clickbait and headlines now. So deliver on the value. That's why it's really important that if you make a title like this, that you be accurate with the content and then actually deliver on what you're talking about.
That makes sense. And there's a question in chat here from on YouTube. Codename Adam says, do titles play into SEO? So on YouTube and really everywhere, your headline title is the most important thing for search results. Your title is by far the most important. So on YouTube, obviously thumbnails are ultimately important for getting clicks, but actually titles arguably are more influential in 2020 than thumbnails are. Certainly for search results. The number one factor that a video pulls in order to understand what your video about is your title. So if you want keywords, and I have tons of videos about this on my own YouTube channel, but whatever keyword is your most important keyword, if you can put that at the front of your video title first, that is better for YouTube search and for Google search in particular. You can also be searched for Twitter streams, for tweets. You can't necessarily be searched, unfortunately, for things like DLive and Twitch streams. Those don't really pop up in search results. But yes, your title is the number one factor for search results, whether that's an article, a social media post, a YouTube video, or a live stream, or a podcast, anything at all. Title number one. Okay, we have some more titles here. We're not just here to talk at you. We want to inspire you by showing you the top 100 greatest titles of all time. Let's continue. Perrin, what you got, man?
I accidentally erased it here, but I had why some people almost always make money in the stock market, and you just replace some people with why citizens almost always make money in the verse. If I'm going to relate it back to Star Citizen, super easy, right? You can it's almost as if you can just replace some words in all of these to make them relevant to what you're doing. Let's do some non-Star Citizen examples. Let's see if we can find a good one.
We'll go up there. There was one. There was when doctors feel rotten. This is what they do, I think. So you can replace doctors. So you're replacing the noun. When streamers, and we can say like get wrecked, this is what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good one.
You just change the title of you're replacing the nouns with things that relate to who you are and what you're doing. And you can change the phrases and the verbs to be, culturally relevant things. People don't say that they feel rotten anymore, right? That's an antiquated phrase. But you can take these old school greatest hits and make them your own. You guys get it? Cool. Let's move on to some more titles.
Okay. Down here, I think there was a good one. How I improved my memory in one evening here.
Oh my God, that one is so good. How I improved my memory in one evening. Like the whole instant results type of title. Whoa, boy, how can we turn that into something that's not actually clickbait? What would you do to improve in one evening? Or could you do in one evening that's kind of unbelievable?
So this one, I would probably customize a little bit more, like how because a title leads into what your stream is going to be. So it's like how I'm improving, let's say my aim. Let's say I'm playing like Fortnite and my aim is just absolutely garbage, right? And I'm going to do, and this would otherwise be a boring stream. Actually, Valorant's a good example because I know Valorant has a mode where you can target dummy, test, shoot, and you can practice your accuracy. So how I'm improving, I would probably make this improving. my aim in one evening. And then that Valorant stream, I'm just going to spend almost the entire stream just like working on my aim in that mode. And what would normally be kind of a boring stream, I think it will be a fun experience for the viewers just because of how you title it. Because now you're creating an experience where viewers can watch you actually improve and see how you look, how you came up with a plan to constructively improve considerably in a single evening. That's good content. That's something that's interesting. And you're taking a part of a stream that would normally be dull. People would be like, why don't you just start playing the game? I want to see you like actually play Valorant. But you actually want to take the time to practice and be good, turn it into something eventful. And I think this title is a good one. I think this is a solid one that you could do. Um, the titles also can give you good ideas for your stream content, because you shouldn't just be jumping in. I always come up from the gaming perspective, but you shouldn't just be jumping into a live stream or jumping into a video without having any thought gone into it. You should plan out what is going to be the unique value that I'm dropping in this video. And how can I take something in the game that maybe I've done before that's maybe kind of boring and that people have seen? How can I transform that with a different idea to make it entertaining, to make people want to stay, watch, and listen to what I have to say about it?
I love it. And Codename Adam has this, an alternate title here. How I improved my FPS accuracy in one evening. That's a great exactly. Take these titles, make them your own. All right, let's do a couple more examples, and then we're gonna call this a wrap for today, because I think people get the point. But we want to continue to inspire you. Let's find a couple more winners here. Ooh, I like that one. How I made a fortune with a fool idea. So it's basically how I did something amazing with a dumb idea. And so so you could do something like how I won every game with a insert whichever weapon or whichever build is not meta right now, right? How I got 100% win rate with insert the name of it, whatever hero is the worst in League of Legends, or you know what I'm saying? So it's how I did something amazing with something terrible. That is a great title.
I like how I won Battle Royale with like this terrible weapon, right? I don't know what. I don't play Fortnite, but you guys get the idea. So
you could do something like how I won every game with melee only. And so this is a good title for challenges, where you're accomplishing something incredible with very little resources or low resources. All right, let's do a couple more examples here for everybody.
Let's see. Profits. I have one for Star Citizen for that, but I don't think it's as universal for other games.
Yeah, maybe hidden value titles are good though. So this is something to highlight though. Like anytime you can say like hidden value in content, it's great. So this includes things like secrets, like Easter eggs, like breakdowns, things you didn't know, things you wish you knew about something. It's a sort of hidden value thing. So instead of profits that lie, I mean, you could do profits that lie in this ship, sure, for Star Citizens. Yeah. But you could do something like, secrets that lie hidden in the name of the dungeon you're grinding today, or loot that lies hidden in the name of the dungeon or raid that you're playing today, etc., etc. So hidden value and secret titles can get a lot of clicks, and people, when they click, they'll actually get what you're saying. So instead of saying level 605B raids hard sweat mode as your title for your stream, you can do a title like this and stand out from all the other people grinding that particular type of content in the game and really standing out. Let's do one more title, Perrin, and then let's wrap this thing.
Okay, we got to find one more good one here. Let's see. No, the man with the grasshopper mind. I was thinking like the streamer with the, but I'm not really sure. I don't really like that. I don't really necessarily like to refer to myself in the title. I like to refer to what's going to happen in the stream.
Yeah.
Got any more? Often the bridesmaid, never a bride.
I don't know. You've gone past a couple of like a million great titles. I don't know. You just stop on any of them. We could break them down. How to call back these great. How to plan your house to suit yourself. I don't know. That's not that great. You passed a couple. You passed a couple that were good titles. So anyway, every one of these top 100 titles are not big winners, or they won't necessarily inspire you. But by scrolling down the list of 100, you will find ones that you do feel suit your personality in your stream. So how about who else wants lighter cake in half the mixing time? There you go. Can you scroll that one up to the top, please?
Yes.
So who else wants lighter cake in half the mixing time is who else wants insert thing they want in a short amount of time. So who else wants to hit max level in 30 minutes? Who else wants to, complete this raid tonight? Who else wants to get fully geared during this stream? Who in chat wants, XYZ value you're providing in 1 hour? Or who else wants to see me do XYZ in 1 hour? So that's a great format. Who else wants insert interesting thing, .. in amount of time? You see how that's a crazy good title? And it also starts out with who else wants. So the title assumes that tons of people already want this. And they're asking, well, who else wants it? It's not asking like, are you interested? Please, maybe, I'm desperate for your attention. You're saying, who else wants this thing? That is a fantastic title format, in my opinion. Because it assumes, it brings in what's called the bandwagon effect into the title. It's a marketing concept where if you think that other people want something and are talking about something, then you're more likely to want to do it. Same thing with the title that Perrin was bringing up earlier, the 99% title. 99% of people, blah, 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 blah. So it makes you assume all these other people out there on the internet are already interested in whatever this content is. And so you want to engage with it. So it's great to kind of do the bandwagon effect with your titles. Perrin, take us home with this. What are the final thoughts that we need to remember to make better titles?
I mean, just when you're out there browsing the internet, look to see what things make you laugh, what things make you smile, what titles you click on, and look at how you can make them relatable. You consume a lot more headlines and titles than you think. You consume probably hundreds a day, and you don't even realize it. And we're so good at this now that we just do it inherently. Stop yourself for a second after you click something and think, why did I just click that? What about that just made me click it? What is that element there? That's the secret sauce you're looking for. Take notes. Write those down in a Google Doc. Write down titles that you've clicked on in a Google Doc and see if you can twist them and make them relatable like we've done with these ones today. These are older examples. I think it's a little bit funner to go through like memes or, popular comments on Reddit and try to make those into titles. They're a little bit more relevant to today, but these are all great too. So take notes, study your own behaviors, spend time. Most important thing, spend actual time on making good titles. Don't just take 30 seconds before you go live to type out anything. You're going to waste your next 2 to 3 hours of streaming just by not spending that time. Dedicate the night before to spending 1 to 2 hours of researching good titles before you stream the next day. If you put time into it, I guarantee you'll see a huge difference. I mean, the second that we did it, I was blown away by like, oh my God, so many more people are coming into my stream. So many more views are happening. I'm getting so many more concurrent viewers. I can't believe that that's all it took. I was kind of like beating myself up because for so many years, I was just going live 30 seconds before creating a title that just talked specifically about what I was going to do. Now, don't do that. Put some time into it.
That makes sense. And if you want to test out titles on all platforms simultaneously, Restream.io sponsors our podcast. We love them. We're restreaming right now. In the description below our podcast and also linked in our profiles, you can get $10 off your first month with Restream. We freaking love it. We've been recommending it for like 5+ years, and then they contacted us and they're like, do you want money to keep recommending us? And we said, hell yeah, give us money. So Restream.io, we freaking love it. $10 off, link in the description below, supports the podcast directly. See you in the next episode, everybody. Write better titles and tweet your incredible titles at us to get our feedback at Digital Drop Pod, and we're happy to rail on you and make you feel bad about yourself.